My name is Patrick Thomas. I have a right to voice my opinion about how you're doing your job. Could it have been tax fraud? Numbers is common sense, folks. How does that happen? Just a question. I'm going to give you the good with the bad. Every time I turn over a rock, I find something that stinks. They're crazy. Serious drama. You screwed up. I'm not happy. Somebody's struggling for power? If they keep publishing, I'm going to keep talking about it. You deserve to be informed. When you do right, you don't have to worry about it. This is ridiculous. Then you better believe it, I've got something to talk about. Get ready to name names. Oh yeah, it's coming. But folks, this is a show, and if you want to subscribe to what I have to say, then subscribe. If you don't like what I have to say, keep scrolling. Have a good day. Hello, Trumpers, deplorables, fellow conspiracy theorists, patriots, and Americans. For those of you who don't like us conspiracy theorists, I'm here to tell you right now, everything that you're going to be hearing, I cannot prove anything. I can prove absolutely nothing. So if you don't want to hear anything that might be subject to my opinion or some conspiracy ideas, then go away. Untune from this program. In fact, unfriend me and remove yourself from the group Trump Arkansas, because it would only mean to me you're not interested in hearing ideas and to at least have a conversation about the possibilities. Now, I'm here to tell you in this introduction, the Biden supporters don't want us to discuss. The Trumpers, the far left people, they don't want us to discuss the possibilities and the probabilities. So I'm here to tell you, if you want nothing but the facts, then go away. Just go away. I have a script here of bullet points, talking points, if you will. I've got about 5 pages, and the one mistake I made was I didn't make it bold enough print that I could read without my glasses. Normally when I give a talk of sorts, I often make it at least bold enough so that the font size, so I don't have to wear my glasses. So pardon me for that oversight on my part. First off, I want to let you know I have many platforms I could make these comments, but there is no other Arkansas platform I could possibly speak to with full support. Everybody in this group are Trumpers. Everybody in this group are the deplorables. All of us in here are patriots and Americans who want to see America survive. America's going down the toilet, folks. There's no other way to put it. I normally speak in a group called Arkansas Live, and those of you here in Trump, Arkansas, if you've never been in Arkansas Live, I encourage you to search Arkansas Live and join that group. In that group, I mostly talk about local politics here in the central Arkansas area, in Jacksonville, and the community of which I'm residing. And believe me when I say corruption is rampant. The last few years, it's really come to the surface, some of the things that people have been getting away with. I really can't point my finger to any fraudulent ballot cheating of sorts, but there has definitely been some fraudulent money finagling in the budget. Excuse me. I don't want to say much that you have already heard, but I do want to present my own personal opinion, my own conspiracy theory as to what is going on, how this election was obviously stolen. It is obvious, and if it's not obvious to you, then you better pay attention to what I have to say, because I am going to lay it out for you here, and it's all going to start with the one world order. The Democrat Party and many members of even the Republican Party have become, let's just say, interested in becoming members of the one world order. They want a one world government, if you will, and they want entities like the UN to run the world, the United Nations, if you will. The Democrat Party has become the party of the destruction of America. And if it hasn't become obvious to you, you need to sit up straight and pay attention. When I speak of the one world order, there are puppet masters. There are people who are high up in this one world order. Some people call them the Illuminati of sorts. Those are what I'm going to refer to as the puppet masters. I probably won't refer to them much in tonight's show, but I just want you to know that the Democrats and many people, even in the Republican Party, they are a member of this one world order. The commoners in America aren't even aware of this. They're doing all they can do just to pay their water bill in America, let alone have TV and pay attention to any newscast that might discuss world politics. The younger generations, they're certainly not interested in world politics. Their current affairs are limited to their date on Friday night. They're not mature enough. They haven't advanced in their own life to be interested in world and global affairs, let alone local politics. It is known by many that the UN wants America to disarm. We, in fact, are a party to an agreement to disarm over years, slowly with an end result to have the power equal to what might be known as a third world country. We all, according to this agreement, we all are to reduce our power, including Russia, the agreement. And if you're not privy to the agreement that I'm speaking of, it's out there. You'll have to go search it. Take my word for it. I've read it. I understand it. The UN wants us to disarm. It's all part of a one world government agreement so that not one country can uprise as a superpower. The rest of the world does not like superpowers. Russia, the U.S. have historically been the two known main superpowers. Now China is coming up as a superpower. They don't want us to be superpowers so that nobody can uprise and take over the world. The UN and all these people interested in a one world government, they want complete power. And it's hard to take power whenever we, as a country, are the superpower. Many presidents have participated in this reduction of our military capabilities. When Trump inherited our military, we couldn't even get parts to keep our jets flying. They had to go to what is known as the boneyard to scrounge for parts to keep their jets flying. Jets were put on a deadline to cannibalize parts. The one world order wants global unity. They are behind the UN agreement to bring down the power of America. Many past presidents worked towards a one world order. The Europeans, they even wanted the euro currency in anticipation of a one world order. That obviously is failing, and Britain has even withdrawn from that agreement to have the euro, thus the term Blexit. Brexit. Blexit is the mass exodus of the black community from the Democrat Party. I erroneously put Blexit in here, probably a Freudian slip on my part. An effort to bring European nations under one continental rule is the goal of the one world order. When Boom Boom Joe, and I often call him Boom Boom Joe because when he was talking about excuse me, nothing quite like live video. I refer to Boom Boom Joe because whenever he was discussing gun control one time, he made a reference one time to telling his wife, all you got to do is go out on the balcony and shoot off 2 blasts, and the thugs and the punks who are causing you problems in your neighborhood or at your front door, they'll run off. Yeah, Boom Boom Joe. Also known as Creepy Joe, says the word unity an awful lot. He is not telling you that he wants America to unify. He wants unity with the globe, the one world order. He knows perfectly well our nation is divided. Here in America, we are divided. We all know that division began with the Obama administration. There is no unity in America. We have obviously become politically divided and will most likely remain that way for years to come. Many voters will be registering their party affiliation as Republican after all of this. Many Democrats, mostly black Democrats, will be moving over to the Republican Party as new generations become wise to the Democrat suppression tactics. Some of the old plantation tactics. Just toe the line. Hoe your row. Just do what I tell you to do and vote how I tell you to vote. Why didn't Hillary win in 2016, some often wonder? If all this cheating is going on, why didn't the Democrats cheat to get Hillary to win? Well, folks, I'm here to tell you the Democrats believe she would win. Running on the Clinton name, how in the world could some no-name like Donald Trump come in and beat a well-known politician to the world of politics, and everybody's been voting for Hillary left and right, and they all know the Clinton name. The Democrats didn't plan on America being ready for a businessman in the White House. The Democrats didn't understand the silent majority that was out there wanting something other than a politician in the White House. America is fed up with politicians. In fact, I've often said in my own life and to my friends, I would like to have a sign in my front yard that says, politicians, fire them all and let's start over. I believe Donald Trump was a first good beginning on that. They didn't have a plan to beat Trump, I say. They had not yet seen what he would do to upset the one world order plan. They truly believed the Clinton name would win. What does any of this have to do with the 2020 election? President Trump has not participated in the one world order efforts. President Trump has, in no other words, told the globe, we will no longer be your police for free. Many of our military presence has offered safety and security for various countries to keep other countries such as Russia from invading their territories and their lands. Our presence is worth a lot of money to these people. But you know what? None of those countries have been willing to pay for that security. Trump told them, you're going to pay if you want us to play the game of providing security for your country. President Trump has told many world leaders we will not lay down and be screwed by other countries. This has upset the entire globe. President Trump removed the restrictions on our military to bring small skirmishes remaining in Iraq and Syria to an end. People, corporations profit from a long-term military incursion. Trump brought those little skirmishes to an end. He didn't want to be the president who went to war. He promised to be the president to end our endless wars that have gone on for years. Many of you have heard me say the Democrat Party is not your daddy's Democrat Party. Candace Owens recently stated, paraphrasing now, because of the COVID outbreak, the recent lack of shortcomings of education will produce a generation of undereducated voters. They will become Democrat voters. Many not so educated and uninformed Democrats are thinking the Democrat Party is their daddy's Democrat Party. Many use the excuse, I just don't like Donald Trump. That is the only reason they voted Democrat. The only reason they voted for Biden. A very dangerous reason to vote for anybody in an election is I simply just don't like the person. Not one person who ever told me, well, I just don't like his mouth, wanted to tell me, well, what is it that he has done for you? They couldn't repeat anything, but they just don't like his mouth. Before the 2016 election, many voters never heard the name Donald Trump. I personally have been one who have been longing for the likes of a president such as Donald Trump. Many don't like him because of his personality, his lack of political posturing, his mouth. You must understand Donald Trump has had that New York mouth on him his entire adulthood. He is a businessman who will tell his opponents to shove it. He will use his mouth to work the art of the deal and leverage those to his end results. We went to bed on November 3 and woke up on November 4, and Trump was still ahead. The mail-in ballots are now to be counted, and it was there that the fraudulent ballots were injected into the piles of ballots separated from their signature envelopes. Yes, once those ballots were separated, I've yet to hear any report from the news reporters to say, oh, let's just use round numbers for the sake of argument. On the mail-in ballots, we had 100,000 ballots at this precinct, and we have 100,000 envelopes with signatures on them. No, I promise you, what's happened here is they have dislodged the signature envelopes from the ballots, and the signature envelopes most likely are not being counted in comparison to the mail-in ballots that are being counted. I promise you, according to Patrick, there's probably far less mail-in envelopes with signatures on them than there are ballots. Ask your local reporter to tell you how many mail-in envelopes, what the count is. I haven't heard that yet. How can so many House seats be flipped and yet Trump lose? If there is so much support out there for Republican House candidates to flip Democrat seats, tell me, why is it that Trump is losing according to the numbers? That one I have yet to have anybody ever explain that to me. The key to the success of the Biden votes was the separation of the signature envelopes and the mail-in ballots. Exactly how many signature envelopes are there and how many ballots were mailed in, they should equal. I said that a moment ago. What I want to share with you right now is a show, the Pete Santilli show, and I've got a clip that's queued up here, and just bear with me while I get all this up and going. I want to make sure I've got the volume turned up so you guys can hear it. Pete Santilli had a guest, and I really don't care what the man's name is. You can go back and find this video in Trump, Arkansas. If not, I believe it's in Arkansas Live also. Pete Santilli. This is another guy that we're going to come back to here in just a moment. I've got this queued up at 34 thereabouts, and I've got the volume turned up. So I'm going to play this segment here, and hopefully everything goes well with the audio on your end.
What about these stacks of ballots that we heard about? That was also thrown into the mix as well. If they said, "Oh, we need 10,000 pre-filled ballots, quickly get those to us so we can scan those." Have you been able to find out anything in that regard? Do we have any affidavits?
Yeah, we have hundreds of affidavits from people who saw different glimpses of different things, and when you put all those affidavits together, that's exactly what you get. Right. You know, here's the big thing: it's going to make you puke, but the Democrats are right about something. The Democrats are right. So I'm not a Republican, but I'm really not a Democrat. The Democrats who've been saying there was no evidence of widespread fraud are missing the point. But they're right. There wasn't that the fraud was widespread. It was narrow and deep. And the bad guys picked 6 places to do it. And what they realized, that if you cheated like crazy in 6 counties in America, you could flip the states that they are in, and hence flip the Electoral College, and hence steal the nation by stealing six counties. And those are Atlanta, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Detroit. Maricopa, and Clark County, Nevada. Those 6 counties, and the first 4 of them are heavily black. And I believe they did that because I think that the goons on the left have been using the black community for my entire lifetime. And they did that. It isn't that the black people cheated. The people who cheated were the people running the systems, and maybe people over in China and other places did the cheating. The black people just did the voting. But so they did that. So when all this gets exposed, people are going to they're going to say, "Oh, you're trying to suppress black vote." Well, I will have nothing to do with anything with any racial element. I'm a huge anti-racist. Well, I'm a non-racist. But what they're going to try to do, like they always do, is hide behind black people. It's like in Vietnam, when the Viet Cong would go into a village and shoot at Americans from the village. Or they do it, Al Qaeda would do it in Iraq. That they would shoot at Americans from a mosque. And so when we counterattacked, we had to hit the mosque. Well, the bad guys cheated the hell out of these 4 predominantly black cities, and then Maricopa, which is Hispanic, Phoenix, Greater Phoenix. And they did that so when all this starts to get exposed, they can hide behind this bromide. Oh, you just are trying to suppress the vote.
Disenfranchising the 7 million voters, so on and so on. Yeah.
Okay. Now, he just mentioned 6 counties. I did a little research today, and I went to, as much as I hate to admit it, CNN's website has a pretty good USA map showing all the voter turnouts. And I went to go see, he mentioned 6 counties. Now, Atlanta, there is not a county in Georgia, there's not a county in Georgia named Atlanta. So what he was referring to was the counties surrounding Atlanta. And my information says there's 9 surrounding counties near Atlanta. Was it 1 county or all 9 counties? I really don't know, but they were all, the surrounding 9 counties near Atlanta were all Democrat. Fulton County, which is one of those counties, is the largest in the state of Georgia, having a population of 1,063,937 people, according to one website that I went to look at. 1,063,937 people, not voters, people, population. So it was the largest population county in Georgia. So if you want to try to pull something over, you want to go, as he said, not widespread, but deep. You want to get the most amount of bang for your buck, so to speak, by exposing yourself to the fewest amount of people. If you were widespread across every precinct across America, you're going to have thousands upon thousands of affidavits saying, "I witnessed cheating." All the affidavits that Rudy Giuliani and President Trump's team are saying that they have, those are from, they've got hundreds of affidavits, is their claim, from just a few precincts. Imagine if it was widespread. So his point was he had to go deep and find the counties that you could say they voted for Trump because they were black Democrats, if you will, and pick the counties that had the most population to get away with it, to turn those numbers. For excuse me, he mentioned Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Detroit, Maricopa County in Arizona, and Clark County in Nevada. In Philadelphia, there was 4 surrounding counties: Milwaukee, Wayne County, and Detroit. All of those, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Wayne, Philadelphia, all 4 of those areas are mostly black voters. In Arizona, in Phoenix, where Maricopa County is, and Pima and Santa Cruz counties near Tucson, those are mostly Latino voters who are voting Democrat. A good chance they may be illegal immigrants who are voting Democrat. The interesting area was Clark County in Nevada. Guess where Las Vegas is at? Guess where probably the most corruption in this country could possibly reside? Oh yeah, in the casinos. The mobs, if you will, that are residual mobs from the mobster days. You can't tell me that Las Vegas doesn't have any corruption. You can't tell me people can't be bought in that city. Oh, please. Imagine the payoffs going on in that county. The Democrats, now here's the conspiracy part that I'm going to get to. The Democrats could not unseat President Trump by making Russia influence claims all the way through 3.5 years of all the crap that they put Donald Trump through, making claims of one thing or another, hearing after hearing. They even tried to impeach the man. It did not work. They couldn't bring him down. They had no gotcha. There was no there. When they failed, it is my belief that they, working with China, released with strategic timing a global virus. Yes, I said it. The globe was in on it. Remember, the globe is now disliking and has great disdain for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is not their buddy and Donald Trump is not being chummy with them. And Donald Trump is telling them, you will pay for America's presence or we're going to just leave. They don't like that, folks. They don't like it. The globe, in my opinion, is in on it. Remember, the global influence wanted Trump out of office. Right here in America, Democrats are so desperate for power, they are willing to sacrifice many elders on Social Security. Remember, life is no concern to them, the Democrats. Why would they care about the elderly if they don't care about babies in the womb? The entire globe is willing to sacrifice their elderly population to defeat the likes of President Donald J. Trump. I've got another video that I've got queued up right here. Father Anthony Pavone, in a video, he makes a point. If they will tear a baby apart, they will tear a ballot apart. He is the National Director of Priests for Life. And if my video is queued up properly and the volume is set, you should be able to hear what points he has to make about this.
You are on the wrong side of this election. You're on the wrong side of every single policy and philosophy from A to Z that this guy stands for. His policies destroy the country, destroy morality, destroy the Constitution, destroy the courts, destroy our freedom, destroy our military, destroy our borders, destroy our trade agreements, destroy our jobs, destroy our economy, destroy our morals, destroy the unborn, destroy religious freedom. Biden and Harris do not deserve one single vote, and everybody who voted for them owes all the rest of us an apology, starting with Biden himself. He should not, as the president said this, he should not be asking for our votes. He should be asking for our forgiveness. Now, the corruption here that went on is going to be exposed sooner or later, one way or the other. But brothers and sisters, let me show you something. Hold on one second. Here's what Mr. Biden stands for, right there. You see that baby whose arms and legs are being torn off? That's an abortion. That's a late-term abortion. This is the kind of character that this man has. There it is, right there. See? Let that sink in when those of you who say that Biden won think that that's a good thing. You better pray and hope to God that he didn't win. Pray and hope to God that there's not a transition to a Biden presidency. Because somehow or other, the man who would be sitting in the White House, presiding over the country of your children and grandchildren, doesn't have the moral sense to know that this is wrong. Anybody that doesn't know that that's wrong, well, let's go through the list. They're not going to be able to name radical Islamic terrorism as the enemy of America. They're not going to be able to tell the difference between a violent riot and a peaceful protest. They're not going to be able to tell the difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal one who should be kept out of the country. They're not going to be able to tell the difference or even care about the difference between a valid legal ballot and an invalid illegal one. You see, if you can do what I just showed you to a baby, can you tear up a ballot? If you can tear up a baby, can you tear up a ballot? If you can throw away a baby without any qualms of conscience, can you throw away a ballot without any qualms of conscience? You give that some thought and give me the answer. President Donald J. Trump is the best president we have ever had in the United States of America. Look.
Yes, he is. Donald J. Trump is the best president. Many people said the Reagan administration was the best presidential administration we've had. Many times people said Jimmy Carter was the worst president we ever had. Well, I'm here to tell you the decline of America began with the Obama administration, and in my opinion, the Obama administration was the worst president we ever had, and Jimmy Carter is dancing with joy. He is no longer being referred to these days as the worst president America's ever had. But yes, Donald J. Trump will go down in history as being the best president for America, for you and me. And if you doubt what I'm saying, you better stop and think about what he has done for you and your family. Financially, your jobs. Don't blame this COVID-19 crap on him. I've already lined it out for you. This is a global, it's my conspiracy theory, mind you, but this was a global attempt to shut down Donald Trump. They couldn't do it by any other practical means. They resorted to killing people. And as this Father Frank Pavone just explained, if they don't mind killing babies, they don't mind killing people. They don't mind killing off the elderly. The United States of America wants to get the elderly off of Social Security, but they won't admit it, but that's exactly what they did. Facebook is going to shut this video down before I even get finished. I can tell you right now. It took a virus to justify the mail-in ballots. This election year, was the perfect storm for Creepy Joe to hunker down in his basement and ride out the storm. Many people have said things like, and suggesting a victory for Biden. Damn sure he will win, some have said. Oh yeah, there's people out there that were saying, we know he's going to win, because they knew the tactics and methodologies that they were going to pursue to make sure he won. All the cheating that they were going to go on. There's got to be something. To Rudy Giuliani said there was a truck that pulled up out back and we thought it was a food truck. Went out there and it was a truck full of ballots. There's got to be something to that. Rudy Giuliani wouldn't have made that up. Biden's Build Back Better slogan implies he will turn back all the efforts that President Trump has brought forth. Build back better. Really? That sounds like you want to tear it all down. You want to tear down the fence. You want to allow the illegal immigrants to just flood through. I can see it now. There'll be a button on one side of the fence for the Mexicans that want to go through, and they'll just have their own. They'll probably put a road up to the gate that they want to install in all the fence that Trump has installed. The border wall, if you will. Border security, it is obvious that the Democrats want any vote they can get. The illegal immigrants will help the Democrats. They will vote for the hand that is feeding them. Voter fraud is further tolerated and not by not imposing voter ID. Oh yeah, come one, come all. Y'all just come on in here and line up and vote. We don't care who you say you are. Excuse me. Democrats will lie to win. They suckered the far left into supporting Biden with hopes of their platform issues will become a part of Biden's promises. He lied about fracking. He will reduce fracking state by state. He says he's not going to do away with fracking. No, but he's going to reduce it. He's going to impose penalties and taxes and the sorts on fracking. Biden is falling to the idea that if we just do away with all coal and oil energy production, that we can run on solar. I love it when I see posts on Facebook of this little generator that's running to produce electricity for your electric car. It took gas or oil to run that generator to produce that power. I'm not so sure that it's the right time to get away from oil and natural gas and fracking. We can produce natural gas. Methane gas is plentiful. Why would we want to pursue? I'm all for solar as an alternate resource or an additional resource, but not at the expense of doing away with things like natural gas, which fracking produces, and oil. It's there, let's use it. The Democrats want to always claim something has been debunked just to end the conversation. The Democrats want the population to be free. The Democrats don't want the population to be free thinkers. Like the plantation owners and slave masters, they want to control what you think and the knowledge you have. They don't want us to have these conversations. They want you to just say there's no there, don't even listen to it, just set it aside and go on over here. It's like a magician's trick. They want to fool you with one hand and they want to distract you with the other. That's what all these liberal news media platforms have got going on. They just want to say there's nothing there. Let's move on. They don't want Donald Trump as president either. Folks, that's pretty much all I've had to say about this issue. If you don't understand what I just said, call me up, 501-837-9794. I'll talk to you on the phone, but I'm not going to debate anything that I've said. It is not open for debate. If you want me to explain it, I'll be happy to explain it. The bottom line is, it is my personal belief that China, and who knows, Joe Biden's son, Hunter, and what he's been paid working for China, he may be on it personally. It is my personal belief that China created this coronavirus to cause an upset in the population of the United States of America to justify mail-in ballots, and they were just too quick to have mail-in ballots ready to be mailed out. The Democrats stole this election, and you will not convince me otherwise. I've always, in times past, said, well, that was a fair election, and candidate so-and-so, you are now the president of the United States. You are now my president. But I'm here to tell you, Joe Biden will not be my president.